Hey, it's your friend Austin from Houston. What's going on in the market? Look, right now, average sales price for homes in the month of June, 457. That's an improvement. That right there is an improvement. It's interesting if you notice list prices are not changing. They're still being listed right at 499 to 500, which is kind of weird, but the values are going up. So patience seems to be paying off a little bit. Let's look at days on market going back 12 months. We can see 1 day faster. Last June was 1 day faster. So things are kind of speeding up a little bit. I wonder why that is. So let's look at our price trends. 0 to 30 days. This is an interesting metric. 0 to 30 days. This is giving me 61 days. I want 0 to 60. 0 to 30 days on market. Generate. Make sure that's right. All right, 0 to 30 days, homes are selling at $462,000. So a little bit higher than average. Go 31 to 60 days. It's saying 61 plus days. And look, 405,000. So that's a huge discrepancy. 0 to 30 days, sold for 493. 31 to 60 days is sold for 405. I mean, that's kind of crazy. 405, 493. Guys, that's almost a $90,000 difference right now that happened in June. Let's look at active inventory. So looking at active inventory, we can see that we did pass that 40,000 unit count last month, 41,850 active inventory. You know, we hadn't seen 30,000 at all until May of last year. And then we stayed above 30,000 and climbed our way to 40,000. Like these numbers are pretty much unheard of right now. So let's look at new and active listings. This is going back 12 months. All right, this is new and active listings. So we had 17,000 properties hit the market. So kind of a decrease in new inventory, but the active did increase. We're over 41,000. We're entering July at 41,655. Not going to be surprised if we hit that 42,000 mark in the next couple of days. Now let's look at the sold listings. This is not quite what we're wanting to see. 3,138 sold units. These are single family homes, by the way. 61. Nobody said 61. We'll try that again. 0 plus. Okay, this makes more sense. 8,269. So units sold in the last 6 months, you can see we've been kind of consistent in the 7,000s. We dipped a little slow, but we're seeing a little bit of pickup. You go back to January, we sold 5,000 single family homes, then 6,000, then 7,400, then 7,800. Now we're close to 9,000. It dropped a little bit, but we're kind of speeding up. I do call this a buyer's market. It is what it is. But, you know, it all depends on this. We're hearing a lot of talk in Congress, not going to get into politics, but we can see we're right at 5.89 for 30-year conventional financing. We were at, 6.67. 5.8 is the 15-year firm. We were at 6.77, so we dropped by a tenth of a point, which is good. We were up at 6.89 just a few weeks ago. So I think things are really not going anywhere. I think there's reasons for us to be optimistic, but at the same time, it's very critical right now in a market like this, whether you're buying, whether you're selling, investing, you got to practice the two P's. You know my two P's? You got to practice patience. So if you're selling a property, you got to be patient, but you do need to be consistent with those price drops. The price, we should call them price improvements. That's very important if you don't do that. But be patient with the market. If you don't need to sell, don't. You probably don't need to sell. So don't sell. And if you do need to sell, price it right. Be realistic. Be optimistic, but be realistic. But be patient. And you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to the market. Things are not changing that quickly. 6.67 is not a big shift. You shouldn't expect everything to return back to 2021. That's not going to happen. So again, I'm Austin from Houston. I'm here to help. If you have any questions, don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Come out to happy hour. Let me buy you a beer. Have a good one. Bye.